All right. Good evening. What's up, y'all? And welcome to Poetry Open Mic Asheville. Asheville's longest running best open mic. Thanks to your support. This is our virtual quarantine Lovesream open mic. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to kick things off tonight with a poem by Jane Hirschfield. And then we got a whole lot more coming at you. So get tuned in and stay tuned, y'all, for what binds us. There are names for what binds us. Strong forces, weak forces. Look around. You can see them. The skin that forms in a half-empty cup. Nails rusting into the places they join. Joints dovetailed on their own weight. The way things stay so solidly wherever they've been set down. And gravity, scientists say, is weak. And see how the flesh grows back across a wound with great vehemence, more strong than the simple, untested surface before. There's a name for it on horses when it comes back darker and raised. Proud flesh, as all flesh is proud of its wounds, wears them as honors given out after battle, small triumphs pinned to the chest. And when two people have loved each other, see how it is like a scar between their bodies, stronger, darker, and proud. How the black cord makes of them a single fabric that nothing can tear or mend. Thanks, y'all. Thanks for being here tonight for Poetry Open Mic. I'm going to lay a couple more poems on you, and then we got a great featured poet for you tonight and a whole bunch of performers lined up to perform. This is a new one I wrote called Paint It on the Street. In big yellow letters, our demands for compassion. The story of hatred told over and over across every city and town, every crossroad from sea to choking sea. We haven't just arrived at this. It's the same story, and the time has been now. For compassion, for unrest, until we get it, no justice, no peace, millions of fists in air, millions of warm pulses, beating the drums, ringing the bells, voices loud and clear, voices trampled for centuries, voices of neighbors, voices of elders, voices of youth, screaming, I can't breathe. And this one's called Weymouth Dream. The haunting pines continue to look into my dreams, peering in the still August evening into the old southern house where there's always a sound in the night, where the road cruises by, where test missiles explode in the distance and skew the pictures on the walls. There's a ragged motel on a roadside called the Whispering Pines Motel. Sad vacations from the past. The highway becomes little towns on the horizon. I cross towns off the map. Mountains vanish into flatland. A gopher tortoise eases into sedges. Dark trails curl through woods. My dreams continue to look through the perfect trunks of the long leaf pines that turn into mist where all that is lost goes. All right. I think I got one more for you. But thanks everyone for tuning in tonight. Hey y'all. We've been doing this open mic in Asheville now for almost 10 years. And of course, we are keeping it going. Even during the pandemic, we've moved to a virtual format here. So I'm going to tell you how this works tonight. We do a sign-up sheet every week in the Poetry Open Mic Asheville group on Facebook. You can sign up there to reserve a spot, and then we send out a link to performers on Wednesday nights for you to join. And it's really easy. No download, no account required or anything. We just want y'all to join in and share your art, whatever form it takes. And we thank Sovereign Kava for their support. Also, thanks to the Kava Lactones for the theme music tonight. And thanks to my brother Morgan Beisert for helping us out on the technical end of things tonight here and each and every Wednesday night. And so thank you for joining in and joining me here in my living room tonight from wherever you are. And we're going to get this thing started here. I got one more for you, and then we got an awesome feature poet for you. So y'all stick around. Thanks for being here tonight. All right. This is called Worker. Goes out to all our essential workers out there on the front lines. We mix up the days but do the same thing. Pour, serve, clean, serve, ringing, punching, serving, calling, crying, serve, steady, serving. How may I help you today? Pay the piper, pay the hitman, pay the teller, pay the captain, pay the workers, and tip them more so they can pay the few who keep the profits and the years. The working, serving, get time off work so I can find some time to work, serving, building, destroying, my pleasure irrelevant. Pay for your bills, spend them their paper, buying, selling, serving, machines, serving the struggle, serve the few, shoot the building, serving air, selling nothing, serving empty baskets, bread with your empty building, standing empty, but you can't use it, building, serving, no purpose, serve, sink, wash, drain, ditch, power, stack, coal, sky, ash, water, serves, serve, make, serve, surf, wish, boundary, serve, warning, missile, fail, a blue-coated nothing, red water, working, serving, excrement, serving, chicken, egg, serve, excrement, serving, workers, working, no school in sight, burning, rubber trees, mask, server, a phone face, no one, dispatch, watcher, weather, warning, server, serving, warning, who is queen, who is king, who is country, who is people, serving the wayside, the underneath, clay pots in the yard, empty dog, master, serving, working, running above ground, serving matchsticks, serving playing cards, serve me, serve you, run, you work, you tell, you hit you off, turning, restless worker, churning, restless worker, serving empty, serve sky, serve canyons, serve wind, serve empty mailboxes. Serve tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next, please. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate y'all being here tonight for Poetry Open Mic Asheville. And yes. We got a great performer for you here tonight. Christian Prins is in the house with us. And he is a fine poet and playwright, all around general performer. I had the pleasure to see his show at this year's Asheville Fringe Festival, and was absolutely blown away by it. And I think he ended up winning Best Show on the Asheville Fringe. And he's going to be doing a live stream of that show coming up this weekend. And I think he can tell you a little bit more about it. So right now, I'm going to see if we can get Christian Prins on here. But wherever you are, in your living room or your car or wherever you happen to be, I want you to jump up and down and shout and make a whole bunch of noise for Christian Prins. Y'all give it up.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Hey, Christian.
What's up? What's up?
Hey, how's it going, man?
It's going good. It's going great.
Hey, it's been a while.
It has been a while, and thank you absolutely for having me.
Good.
Thank your brother for always coming to town to help me out with all of the things that he does. Hello, Asheville Kava Poetry community and the Asheville Poetry
Definitely.
community. Thank you for the shout out for my show. A little more about it. My show is called Abomination, Memoir of Ambiguity. It was started off as a 25 minute piece. It's been extended to about 35, 40 minutes. We're doing a live stream of it on Saturday at 7:30. The link is on my Instagram, which is Beige Baby Jesus, and as well as the Magnetic Theater is going to be who we're partnering with to host it. If you were to type in Abomination Stream on Facebook, the event will pop up. It's a pay what you can situation, so come through and hopefully you'll get a chance to see some fun stories and some masterwork lighting by Caleb's brother Morgan. I'm going to.
He's awesome. I'm super excited for this show you have coming up, and I hope everyone will tune in and watch the show and give what they can. And we'll get a link posted up here.
Yeah, all the proceeds are going to go to Chris Red from SNL started a fund to provide COVID assistance and relief for everyone who's protesting. So all the proceeds from the show are just going to go towards that fund so that all these people out here fighting for what's right, have some access at the end of the day. So
that's excellent. I'm really glad to hear that. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, no worries, man.
Well, so I hear you've got some of the material from the shows, a little preview tonight, and some new material as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna lead with the new material because this is it seemed like the theme right now is love. So I have a small show that I'm working on called Love Bits, or called The Bits, where it's just like little romantic things that I have written and enjoy, and I'm gonna put them together for you and see where we roll.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Well, I'm gonna turn it over to you now then. And yeah, y'all give it up for Christian Prins.
Alrighty then. Okay, where we at? The Bits. I've lain with love 1,000 times, and in 1,000 forms I've been broken by the ephemeral. If I took you on a date, we merely watch the clouds go by, would you appreciate life as I do? Or would they just be clouds to you? Show me something, anything, please. Let your curiosity leak and mingle with mine own, because in a billion snowflakes, none are ever the same, and in a billion little kisses, not one is ever the same. The burnished amber of shifting desert sands begs for rain, and with kisses I shower every glint. Knowing your thirst, I bring moisture to every morsel, until like sands I can no longer hold you. One time, we were two children, who found each other during a thunderstorm when the power goes out. You have the wick, and I the wax. Between the two of us, we molded a candle in the dark, curiosity the catalyst. You still have the wick, and I the wax. We did everything to stay in the light, yet the flame still flickers, and we shield it from the breeze. As rain persists through incomplete ceilings, we covered our flame between our bodies, you the wick, and I the wax. Sheltering from disaster, even if it burns us, it's just hot wax, which is better than the dark. So much better than the dark. Reminiscing on your ardor, my visage begets to impish impersonation. How sly of me to steal kisses from goddesses. How sly of me to steal kisses from goddesses. Fervent pursuit of new desire with verdant affections at my wake brought me to this sacred place. Reminiscing on your ardor, my soul takes succor at the table of guilt. For when you steal kisses from goddesses, you have stolen nothing and only ever dined in the shallows. I remember you. I remember you because your voice is like sitting by the coals of a dying campfire in the high desert, watching a sky full of silver teardrops we call stars. Your skin is that same desert. Brown, beautiful, weathered. Weathered because you wear your heart on your sleeve, a heart that has been molded and crafted in the fires of self-loathing, hotter than Mount Doom in the shadow of Mordor. You look in the mirror and cry silver teardrops we call stars, because you've yet to see the beauty of dying coals in the high desert. You've yet to see the beauty of the high desert. Those are my little love songs and little love bits. This is kind of where it kind of gets more into a little more serious material. This one's called Brushstrokes. If it looks like brushstrokes, it must be art. Excuse me, I started losing my mind back there for a moment, but the moment's passed. Thieving has occurred, thunder missing, sunshine no longer worth kissing. But then I heard the drum beat that my people speak, hearing them bars yelling indiscreet about them dreams no longer on lease. We tell stories. We tell stories because they could cut our tongues and our voices will still be heard. Our voices will be heard screaming rung after rung, fighting for a chance to be a brushstroke in this masterwork story we wrote. This one's called She/Her. I did a series of poems based on pronouns. So she will look like this. She will wear a woven soul for all the world to see. Wrapped in silks, beautiful, majestic, she will be reminiscent of child seeing the world for the first time. In a constant state of wonder, I will be the one competing for affection. All that I cannot, she is. She does not need to be fixed, nor does she ever want to be owned, for she is story. Consent. Consent is. Out loud, speak it. Consent is. Even if I can't see you folks, I want you to say out loud, consent is, period. Consent is, knowing the fingers on my skin were asked for, enthusiastically in agreement, consent is. It can be. Spastic exaltation of delight and elation, consent. Playing a game we are both aware of. It is the kiss on the cheek you wanted. Consent is no hand misplaced, no conversations erased, a call of please enter my space. Are you sure? Yes. Consent is the ask and the answer. The meeting of outstretched hands, sans coercion, sans gaslighting, not the result of wild emotions, misplaced and tainted confrontation. Well, unless that's your kink. And even still, even in that, consent breathes and weaves. Yes means yes. A yes with the freedom to grow to know, for a yes with the freedom to flourish to know is the greatest freedom one can ever know. Consent is presence. Be here, now, with me. Listen to me. Exchange value with me. It is the ask and the answer. It is the core. It is the standard. So thank you for that. The following is actually what I've workshopped and I've been doing for my show. I always give a little bit of a caveat before this. It can be trigger heavy. It does deal with a lot of trauma and deep emotions. But I hope that you will watch and it'll give you a little taste of something to check out this weekend. All right. Imagine this. Imagine this, a world that exists. Yes, that exists. Imagine a world where beauty is a thing you see but never feel. Kind words fall deaf on ears ringing with echoes of hate. Fuck 'em. I'm pretty today. Pretty and afraid. Paycheck to paycheck, cashing in shits of despair. Wake up, boy, you've overdrawn. You don't get to be pretty today or really ever. Words, ugly are cave paintings within your cavernous mind, seeping through layer upon layer of houndstooth wallpaper. Shh. Shh. I can hear myself. Some days I hear voices, less like voices, more like ragged screams, duplicitous hoarse belches gasping through dry throats. Sometimes I hear voices, more like war cries, bloodthirsty, ambivalent shrieks of retribution. I hear voices, never happy ones. Necessary cogs in my clockwork psyche, meticulously self-constructed to operate this scarred wheel of force. I've come before and I left unfinished, and I have come again with soul entwined brutally around rage, not born of this time around. I I am beautiful. Narcissist, arrogant, too smart for your own good. You love yourself too much. There you go again. You know there will always be someone better. Abomination. Abomination. Our first designation. By an assailant who only saw my brother's flesh. My big brother looks like a prepubescent ginger dwarf from Lord of the Rings. White, ginger, and kinda hairy, he was suspended that day for fighting and winning, and not because our mother's honor was once again assaulted, but for the sake of his newborn half-breed brother. Half-breed because we are half the seed of three-fifths of a man. Your ancestors would tell it that way. I am mudblood, mixed up aberration to this monochromatic melting pot nation, which begs the question, what are you cooking in a pot this big with no spices? Which begs the question, how are you so self-righteous? But that's not our story, for I am the abomination. These all-black problems don't truly affect me. Light-skinned house nigga more likely to wash the dishes than be in the field catching switches that weave wounds that constantly prove everything happens now, and trauma is a poison that oozes for millennia. Our ancestors brandished braided whips of kinky curly locks, peeling layers of skin, alternating hues, revealing diasporic kin of every complexion. But what is kin to us beyond the color of skin to us? And what is skin to us beyond the color of sin to us? And why does your reality shake when you see it's my white brother's body on the slate? No, not brother, in the way that we're all allegedly family under one malevolent deity, but blood of my blood, mind of my mind, tenants of the same womb. Standing in the mirror, three reflections staring back at me. Blackness enraged at my ignorant privilege, white pride eagerly awaiting my predisposed failure, and the golden boy. Boy with no claim, beast of no nation siphoning ghosts to build a kingdom between, tearing ivory bandages that hide my comforting complexions. Standing in the mirror, I am free, as long as the golden boy stares back at me. Look at me. I said fucking look at me. Look at us like Peter with thimble unstitching old wounds, tearing scabs and dead flesh from bones that have weathered storms no child should envision. Do you hear our bandages pitter-patter? Our stitches rip through scar tissue. We never learned to cauterize our wounds, so we do this for you. We do this open heart surgery because I am desperate to be seen. See me beyond what I am, for I am more than dead siblings, monikers, and movements. I am Sonata. I am alone. So you will fucking look at me. And you will know this is for the fearful, the pariah, the scared to eat, scared to wiggle, breathe, and feel. And this is for Elijah McClain, a boy who will never again dance in the rain. This next piece, I don't know if I'm going to add. It's called Capitalist. When we told them the rainforest is burning, orangutans fought for their homes, they continued to cut it down. When we told them the earth is dying, storms raged harder, they continued to burn it down. And when we told them Black Lives Matter, they replied all lives matter as they continued to gun us down. The capitalist is a cancerous thing. It cares for nothing. It cares for naught but production at our loss, in their favor, at our offset, at our price. Capitalist seeks to grow unfettered, malignant, tumor-leeching life, stealing from the cycle. So much take, never enough give. A price must always be paid. The capitalist is an evil thing. It will justify racism. It will justify classism. It will justify lives lost, for the bottom line must never reach the end of the line. But remember, for every time a tree falls, for every time the earth groans, for every time an enslaved body meets the ground, songs of sorrow are sung, symbols of life lost, backed by thunderous drums, war drums sculpting rhythms of retribution. With every body that falls and every forest that burns, the rhythms of retribution will become louder. Songs of sorrow will become the rhythms of war. And because the capitalist is a soulless thing, it cannot understand the sorrows we sing. It cannot understand the warning signs, but it will understand our warring cries. If we, the descendants of the shackled, if we, the lifeblood that built these lands across the world, cannot have justice, then you may never know peace. And in the night, when you think you have a moment's respite, know that we are hunting you. Know we intend to put your body on our wall. And know that we sang for you, and you didn't listen. And remember, we've come to collect a debt, and Mother Earth backs our claim. Got one more piece called Shadow Song. I'm still working on. If you are a Bass Nectar fan, the rhythm of this song is Cherish Friendship on his side project called Nofo. Shadow song, lulls me to sleep, pursues me to rest. Shadow dance, actions of fate, keeping me in darkness, laying full awake. Shadow song, lie me to sleep, shying from demons we are so eager to keep. Shadow song, shadow dance, shadow song. Whisper to me, kiss my brown skin, douse me in twilight, let me breathe our sweet sin. Give me freedom beyond hard-edged dreams, give me flight under ghost wings. Shadow song. Heartbeat rhythm, circadian jig, shh. Shadow song speaks. Shadow song. By moonlight. By candle cast. In sun hue, I see you. Constant companion, welcome predator. Second skin. Shadow dance. But can you keep pace? Can you keep up with Life Giver? Yes. You know me. Know us always. Pretty shadow. Check your side. Soul to soul. You are shadow. I am Life Giver. Thank you, everyone, for listening to my things. And a huge thank you to Caleb and Morgan for inviting me onto the show tonight.
All right. Thank you, Christian. Really appreciate that. Really important words there. Amazing poetry. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing tonight. And I do want to encourage everyone to tune in and see Abomination this Saturday. And we've got a link up for the show. Yeah, that's at the Magnetic Theater. It's a fantastic show. You all should go see it. I did make an error earlier. It didn't win Best Show. It won the USAFF Fringe Artist Award, which is actually a lot better, because they're helping to continue to produce that show. We lost him. Oh, okay. Anyway, I just wanted to say thank you so much, Christian, for that performance. And hopefully we can have you back on sometime in the future. But y'all go check out Abomination, definitely. And we're going to get some other performers on here. I think we got Joe Shelton up next, and then Zen Sutherland. Just a reminder, if you're performing tonight, make sure to follow that link and get into the broadcast studio, so we can have you on the show tonight. And sorry, we were just having a little technical difficulties earlier, but we're up and running now. And be sure to catch Poetry Open Mic Asheville virtual Lovesream open mic here each and every Wednesday night live on the Sovereign Kava YouTube page and in the Poetry Open Mic Asheville Facebook group. Many thanks to Sovereign Kava for sponsoring this open mic and keeping it going now for the community here in Asheville to have a place to share their art, whatever form it may take, every Wednesday night for almost 10 years now. And we're keeping it going. All right. Cool. Awesome. Up next, we got Joe Shelton. Let's see if we can get Joe Shelton on here. Y'all know the deal. Scream and shout and make a whole bunch of noise for Joe Shelton.
Hey,
Joe!
hey, I've got the stream on. It's trippy. There's a delay.
That is really trippy.
All right.
Oh, there. Oh, nice.
A little cava cheers for you. I had one in the fridge.
Oh. Well,
how do you
cheers.
tell? Oh, right on. How do you tell if it's gone bad? Does it start tasting good?
it comes full circle. No, actually, it tastes far, far worse if you can imagine.
Boy,
The coffee was already pretty strong, and
don't know.
once it ferments, takes on a very
Man, oh man! Once you've had that Fiji, I don't know how you could.
it's
How
kind of
would
like
you
that.
know?
I tell you,
Well,
yes.
sorry I had to
it's
bail
not for the
last
faint of
week.
heart. Say
Yeah.
what?
Sorry, I had to bail last week. I was ready.
Oh yeah.
Things
No.
happen, even in the quarantine world. God, it's dull out there.
Yep, I hear you.
Missing the
Well-
good times, but I'm loving this.
I'm glad you can make it tonight. You got some poems for us? Maybe a song or two?
Couple poems, couple of songs.
Sounds great. Well, I'm going to turn it over to you, Jose. Thank you. Thank you for being here tonight. Y'all make a whole bunch of noise for Jose.
Okay, I'm ready. Freaky. All right, poem number 1. Went out west, and it's not for me. Nothing personal, Southwestern America, but there's just too much damn horizon. On a clear day, there's nothing but the truth with a capital T. A big blank sky hovers menacingly over the endless, chalky, dry acres as a cruel sun blares like a shrill trumpet of a spaghetti western. It burns away every last fleshy scrap resembling life off of the carcass of any comforting falsehood foolish enough to meander in among the scrub brush. It leaves a bleached, wind-blown skeleton as a warning to their like. Maybe it was better than I remember it. Albuquerque I liked. Ghosts of the ancient adobe pueblos boldly intervene as muses, guiding melodic splashes of color that push back against the rocky desert. Pointed the car westward and rode down out of that town on a highway with a long, gentle trajectory of a jumbo jet's easy coasting descent, as if into a perfect slow-motion three-point landing, but into that interminable, beautiful, accusatory horizon. On a rainy day in these soft, rolling, westerly North Carolina mountains, I delight in the dreary blanket overhead as it drizzles a mist of sugary depressions onto the confection of a near dream, like the lovely despondent narcotic of Roy Orbison, soothing old heartaches into a familiar roadmap of faded scars. The bittersweet sense that's just outside touch traces the winding route inward to the great theatrical greenery where tangled vineworks patiently drag huge oaks to their doom by the kudzu-carpeted barns and solitary chimneys who've forgotten their charred ruins. And I've allowed myself to harmlessly wallow in the virginal misery of my adolescence, forgive myself my failures, and call them by some other sweet name. There's graffiti in the sewers of Sao Paulo. I need another drink. I'm not loose. Sorry, Kava Bar friends. Blech. There's graffiti in the sewers of Sao Paulo. I've never seen it, and I won't. I caught a snippet of it fluttering around in my mind when it escaped from a mental dossier where I had gathered the scattered clippings of the artist and his art. In a memory I pinned down from a film, he was being received as family by a father, wife, and children who lived among caverns along the rushing stream of wastewater. The artist and the father held each other for a long moment, and then the father wept as he spoke his gratitude, thankful that there was one man at least who hadn't flushed them away under the city into the darkness of oblivion, like sewage itself. In another memory, the artist was ankle-deep in the effluvia of the city as he directed a headlamp at a cement wall. He worked the magic of his spray paints with both hands in a ballet-like language of puppetry. His eyes were far away at the finish of the thing, just under a wrinkled brow and above the bandana he wore over his mouth and nose. There's graffiti in the sewers of Sao Paulo, all but unseen. It's not gang tags marking a territory like dog piss. It's not an involuntary tattoo applied by a vandal receiving yet another bandage of paint rolled out by an angry shopkeeper as the stain bleeds through. It's not an anonymous secret handshake between hobos forever passing through. It's not boxcars delivering art to the resentful involuntary audiences of indifferent rural and industrial worlds. It's not the slowly crumbling dilapidations of failed and forgotten businesses and institutions repurposed as canvases. It's not Keith Haring or Banksy or Basquiat bursting out of a cocoon of lawlessness from among the wasted extra spaces. It's not the brave and dangerous political statement of a voice silenced by oppression. No. I almost admire the thrill seekers who hang from ropes to burn on a bridge, and stopwatch crews who slip into the subway tunnels between trains for a deserved adrenaline rush. They put art in front of the people where it belongs, but Sao Paulo's sewers are again as the darkened caves of Neander were when the shelter was the sewer. The cold stone walls were the canvas, and graffiti was the journal, teacher, decoration, comfort, and then abandoned. There's graffiti in the sewers of Sao Paulo. I've never seen it, and I won't. But the idea of it and the existence of it are beautiful and sad and noble to me. All right. This is a new one. Mrs. Flanagan's favorite pudding. Mrs. Flanagan's favorite pudding are the stuff of dream. It lights on the tongue like an aria sung about Bailey's Irish cream. Mr. Flanagan's off to the pub soon. I'll be stopping by, for her pudding is great, but it's just second rate when compared to her pie. Mrs. Flanagan and I see one another on the sly. She puts her scarf on the line. It's her little way of giving me a sign. Ah, he ungratefully wolfed down his supper, fork in fist. He belched and then farted, briskly departed to go and get pissed. Mr. Flanagan's into his cups now, brawling like a lad. When he's finished with fighting, he'll soon start delighting in acting quite the cad. He has deserted for the night, time for an evening delight. Suits Mrs. F and me fine. She saves all of his dessert off of mine. Ah, next day there's a knock on my front door. Who should it be? Big Bill Flanagan's here, and he seems of good cheer, so I ask him in for tea. Once I'm sure he's in no mood for brawling, I'm relieved. Looks like I'm in the clear, and I've nothing to fear. He gets up as if to leave. Turns out that he was being sly. Asks me for the time before goodbye. I left my watch on his nightstand, so I get to taste the back of his hand. Ah, Moira sneaks by with the pudding and sad smile. Our trysts are on ice. While they lasted, they were nice. I'll be on soft foods for a while. Okay, and an old fave, Truck Stop Trixie. Well, it's Thursday night and I just got paid. Gonna take out my wallet, go get laid. Get a rubber at the corner drugstore, right at the exit 64. All the fellas say to me, man, it's gonna hurt when you go to pee. Truck stop Trixie, get on the back of my motorbike. Truck stop Trixie, do the dirty things I like. They're double booked at the Monty V. Days in don't like the looks of me. Got us some room at the Thunderbird. The doorknob said do not disturb. Our conversation's mercantile. She's flexible and versatile. Truck stop Trixie. Get on the back of my motorbike. Truck stop Trixie. Do the dirty things I like. We're done now. I got no complaint. Did is what it is and it ain't what it ain't. Did what I did and I paid what I owed. She's out the door and down the road. Feel like a loser, feel like a clown. I'll see her again and it brings me down. Truck stop Trixie, she only briefly kills the pain. Truck stop Trixie, the definition of insane. Truck stop Trixie, get on the back of my motorbike. Truck stop Trixie, do the dirty things. All right, that's what I got for you. Thanks very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Very nice. Very nice stuff. And yes, very trippy tonight. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, thanks for the shout out. And hope you can make it next week.
Plan on it.
All right, y'all give it up one more time for Joe. All right. Thanks again for joining us tonight for Poetry Open Mic Asheville Virtual Lovesream Quarantine Open Mic. I'm your host, Caleb Bysert, joining you tonight from my living room here in Asheville. Again, tonight's theme music is by the Lactones, the Kava Lactones. And tonight's show is sponsored by Sovereign Kava. Our featured poet was Christian Prins, who's got a show called Abomination that's gonna show live from the Magnetic Theater this Saturday. You all should check it out. And we have a link to that show right there. Definitely check that out. We got some more awesome performers coming at you tonight. Up next, we have Zen Sutherland, and then we got Priestess Super Vixen, and then we got some more folks coming at you after that. So y'all stick around. Peace and love, everyone, on the Love Stream. And let's see if we can get Zen Sutherland on here. Y'all make some noise.
All right. How long do we got left? How long do we got left? Do you know?
Hey,
All
Caleb.
right.
Caleb.
What's up, Zen? Hey.
Nothing much.
Good to
How
see
are
you.
you doing?
I'm doing all right, all considering. How are you doing?
I'm doing. I feel guilty. I'm doing so well.
Well, hey, don't feel bad about that. Just, yeah, be blessed, be grateful.
Yeah. And so, if if it's a good situation for you, then spread the love.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah.
Boy,
around.
Christian was hopping. I tell you what, that was great.
Oh, I love that stuff. Such a fine writer and performer.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was great to have him on. Glad you enjoyed it too. But you got some poems for us tonight?
I sure do. Yep. A couple.
Excellent. Cool. Well, I'm gonna turn it over to you for a little bit. Y'all give it up for Zen Sutherland.
Appreciate it. Thank y'all. I just have a couple of little poems, but I'm throwing in this shorty because Christian talked about art, and that got me to throw this one in. It's just called Art, and it's this dredging up of the thick subconscious silt of our psyche rarely equals the rental on the backhoe of our dreams. And that was it. The next one is I've been vexed by a nighttime mockingbird trying to sleep, wake up in the middle of the night and he's Pavarottiing it big time. And so I thought I'd dedicate a little poem to him called Punk Ass Mockingbird. On the street outside my window, clothed in blackest night, he latches onto my attention. His hook, his mouth, an ear leech, a verbal misfit, an endless trigger pumping ammo words shot randomly, all about himself, lodging in the bodies of innocent bystanders. Hello? You know how I got this black eye? Dude jumped off a scooter and clocked me clean for no reason. I mean, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Punk ass Mockingbird. Nobody cares how jacked up you are on yourself, singing your narrative from treetops by the street lamp. All night, it's verbal vomit, sound samples of a skipping CD, a broken mirror reflecting triangular pieces of your random fate. So I'm doing time for throwing rocks at a policeman and tagging city property. I mean, they really beat me bad, threw me in the hole. Crazy, right? Crazy, right? Yes, crazy. Yes, get me away, shut the fuck up. Yes, whatever. Just let me sleep, Mockingbird, in the night. I got no beef. I just want to lay in bed and screw my girl. I got no beef. And there I was, tripping my balls off, acid, dope, heroin, mud, turned down for what? I got no beef. Drawing crazy, cool shit. You should have seen it. It would pop your eyes out of your head. Saying nothing with your spray of words, talking trash of the things you've heard. No wonder someone punched you, little fucking punk-ass Mockingbird. And I guess I get to sleep eventually. This one is called A Steaming Cup of DGAF. This day dawned with zero clouds, nor any silver lining. I lack motivation, am so tired and disgusted with life, mine and yours. Don't talk to me. Neither of us will like my answers. I just want to curl up in a pool of my own discharge. I have less than nothing, yet want for nothing, but the world of 7 billion nauseous egos to shut up. The hornet of this angry sickness has only one place to alight, and that's my lover's nest. Those quiet eyes and soft heart. I sleep with arms and legs wrapped in her memory foam forgiveness, and hope she understands today's listlessness. Tomorrow, I'll drink the Kool-Aid. This one's a little longer. It's called The World Within a Poem. The world within a poem erodes the lives of marrow-sucking middlemen and wastes the doctor's precious 16 seconds of diagnosis evolving towards some ill-thought future, giggling idiotically at bumper sticker mentality, and varnishes our fear of being told we're mediocre to die numb on a beer of empty six-packs and corporate view graphs. The world within a poem spatters jism on our freshly laundered dream sheets and leaves us spent below the shaded cobwebs of our imaginary bedrooms with sounds, feelings, smoking, laughter, and biology like a dog's far-off barking, nagging at the edge of the carefully columned lives of accountants and their small-breasted sisters. The world of a poem opens like a dying flower's fresh, surprising affluent scientists' nostrils who believe they are the great white hope that will never let us age and never hurt because knowledge written straight will heal us, and the poem's oblique reminders are only forbidden dreams, forgotten. The world within a poem clasps our children's frail arms and beats them senseless, bloody, with fists of insecurity, and while tears sign affidavits of broken trust and evoke licenses of parenthood in the face of consensual reality. The world within a poem will haunt you into fearfully changing, will make you cry despite yourself, will burn your past into your future, will post an oozing canker on your flesh and leave you only the core husk of your humanity with which to borrow against for any kind of life. And I wanted to end on a positive note. So this is called this is most recent, Keeping the Lines of Love Open. You catch more flies with honey, plus you don't have to hover over a steaming pile of shit waiting for some flies to get it. An attacked mind does not change. A bullied mind digs itself in deeper. A frightened mind already knows where it will run, where to duck for cover, to resume its comfortable thinking. Changing minds requires willingness to change yourself, to listen and to remain loving, to make your point without hate, without judgment, without accusation, without expectation that a bell goes off and your point becomes suddenly diamond bright. A mind changes slowly. You plant a seed, water it with love, and still it takes time, more time than you think you have. The patience of love is not easy nor explosive. You cannot shoot someone with the truth and expect they won't be wounded. You can tell me I'm not being angry enough. I'm compromising too much. I'm accomplishing nothing, but I'm making my point with as much love in my heart and with as much understanding and compassion of others as my wispy soul will allow. And then I'm moving on, leaving a trail of roses and thorns to follow when they're ready. There are those whose minds are behind steel doors, usually steel doors of hate. Their imprisoned minds won't be changed until they too can love fully. Show them how it's done. Yes, I'm tenderly treading, walking beside those who disagree, helping them learn to tread just as tenderly towards understanding by keeping those lines of love open. Thank you so much, Caleb. Thank you, Sovereign Kava. I really appreciate it. It's been wonderful.
And thank you, Zen. Thanks for
My
stopping
pleasure.
by and sharing. Really
My
appreciate the
pleasure.
poetry. Absolutely. Hope you can make it back again soon.
Oh,
Y'all-
you got it.
Awesome. Y'all give it up one more time for Zen Sutherland. All right. And thank you all for joining us tonight for Poetry Open Mic Asheville's virtual quarantine Lovesream Open Mic. Brought to you by Sovereign Kava. We are Asheville's longest running and voted best open mic. Now keeping it going for you in the virtual realms, sending you a little love and a little light into your homes or wherever you may be during these times. Hope you're doing well out there. Really appreciate everyone's support. And we're going to keep it going for you tonight. Up next, we have Priestess Super Vixen in the house. And we got some other wonderful performers coming at you here. Just want to remind you, if you're performing tonight, there's a link you should see in the comments to StreamYard. Follow that link. Enter the broadcast studio. Make sure you got a good internet connection, some headphones, and we'll get you on here to perform. Appreciate y'all tuning in tonight. I got some kava made so I can cheers Jose and the rest of the kava crew. So cheers, y'all. And oh yeah, and tonight's Theme music is by the Lactones. Check them out. All right. All right, let's see if we can get Valerie on here. Let's see. Priestess Super Vixen in the house. Y'all make a whole bunch of noise for Priestess Super Vixen. Hey, Valerie. Hey, how you doing?
I'm pretty good, Caleb and folks. I hope everybody's doing all right. We had some intense weekends lately,
We sure
and
did. Yeah, here in Asheville, for sure.
yeah, and we made it through a very, very powerful solstice and portals therein, and a
Mm-hmm.
whole lot of spiritual work was done on the behalf of the people. You know, uh, it's been amazing days. I've been getting very little sleep, but
I hear that.
try.
A lot of energy. This during this time, for sure.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
So I
Wonderful.
again,
Well,
I don't know what to call it. A talk. I guess it's just a talk. How's that?
that's all right. We don't have to label it. I'm just glad to hear from you. Thanks for being here. I'm gonna turn it over to you now. Y'all give it up for Priestess Super Vixen.
Hey, my dear ASHEVILLEans. This is your girl Valerie, aka Peace, this Super Vixen. And today we're just gonna have a little conversation. I like to call this conversation Minds Like Fruit. I've said this before. As many people of color that we have, just as many ideas about how to end systemic racism and overall unfairness economically, you name it. Not one of us has the complete answers to it all. And each one of us, as a people of color, are different forms of warriors. Some of them are the kind of warriors that get on the ground and they're ready to fight. Others are a lot more diplomatic about their ways of fighting. And yet there's others that are spiritual warriors. The work is necessary by all folks. We're not always going to agree on what the solutions are. And that's just in one ethnic group, right? So imagine our country here with folks of all different cultures. I would love to know why I can't get my little thing to stay still. With all the different cultures that we have our white community, and in that community, there are several different people there that feel need to do things their way. We just show up. That's all that really matters. If we all just do what we're guided to do for the betterment of the group, we can't go wrong. And don't fuss at each other for why folks don't see things your way or vote your way or do anything. Everyone's doing the best that they know how with the amount of information that they're getting. And goodness gracious, there's so much information, underground social media groups, that no matter what you see with your own eyes, they're saying you're not seeing it correctly. There's a whole flip of a reality. I'm telling you. My sun sign is Libra. My rising is Sagittarius. Air and fire I am, and many more things. But the Libra part of me has friends on all walks of life, Republicans and Democrats, for Trump, against Trump, for you name it. I just like my scales. I constantly balancing them from all the knowledge that I'm gaining on both sides. One thing we all know that all people are suffering on certain levels: mental health, economic issues, social fairness or lack of. So when we're talking about Black Lives Matter right now, it's because this seems to be a big issue. Now, let's talk about folks who aren't Black, right? Or Hispanic, or who aren't of native blood, right? Just, just, just work with me on this. So you say this doesn't affect you. It's not real. This happens every once in a while. It's not. Why are people tripping? When you're not walking this path, you don't see all the nuances that racism is in. And you don't care because it's not happening to you necessarily. But I dare you to ponder on something. A white male cop who does not have integrity in his actions, that poison leaks out in all communities. Yeah, okay, let me help you with that. Like, if you're being backed by a whole legion of officers who can turn their backs, turn their heads when they see injustices done by their other comrades because they have to feed their families and they want peace in their world, so they just turn the other way just a minute. They go home that night. That same person also goes home at night. The one that breaks the rules, the ones that are unfair and unjust to the people. Do you think that they are so loving and kind to their wives or their husbands or their partners for that matter? Do you think that they don't push the envelope of unfairness in every other way that they can? They utilize their weight at the bar when they want to flirt with someone, and that might be your daughter. And the daughter says, man, I don't want nothing to do with you. And he uses his force and authority against said person that may be your relative or friend. You see, the battle appears to be a white and Black issue, a political issue. Is hidden in plain sight. It has nothing to do with that. We're fighting for liberation. And we're doing it now under the guise of Black lives. But when we're fighting for Black lives, we're fighting for everybody. Yes, we are. But right now, coast a wave with us this way. Hold our hand while we fight this way for now. Because as we eliminate the injustices, we're eliminating it for everyone, and it moves on and on in many different ways in our society. So that jerk doesn't put his hand on a female or any other person thinking he has enough power to back him up to do whatever he wants. We're trying to get the jerks out of the system. These are the same people that want to take the rights of guns from the citizens so that they weak ass have it and use it against the people. You think that this is just a Black Lives Matter movement? Mm-mm. This is a movement about integrity, a movement about the freedom to choose, the freedom to be free, to be who you are. We're fighting for public servants to remember what that means to be a public servant. We're going back to those values. It just so happened that it was bloodshed of Black men that ignite us folks, because it's our sons and our daughters, and we're fighting for them. And we're tired of the injustice, and we don't give a shit who color it is. The fact that cops actually stood. Did y'all see that clip about that elder white man got pushed down? Pushed down. And someone says he was bleeding from his ears. That shit ain't right. So yes, all lives matter. We're just saying right now the injustice has been leaning a little bit over on the Black side. So we're fighting like hell. That's all I'm saying. Stand with us. Stand by us. Use your strength, your unity, and hold our hands as we push through this shit. And if, damn it, you want us to go to rallies for the NRA or whatever, holla at us. Let us see you downtown with us, not against us, because you're taking all the damn light away from what we're trying to do, talking about all lives matter. Hell, if we thought it was treated like all lives matter, none of us would be down there in the first damn place, right? Fight for your people as you hold our hands. Injustices are leaking everywhere. We're like fruit. We're never meant to be the same. This juicy ass pear, there are hundreds of pears. It was always meant to be this way. Some are sweeter than others. Some are darker, larger, smaller. Our minds are like fruit. We're all different. Oranges. You know how many fucking oranges are there out there? God dang. But all of them are relevant. All of them has a fan. Somebody likes one of those types of oranges. We want the right to be free. We want the right to be at peace. I want to get pulled over and know that I don't have to worry about my life. I want to make sure that if I'm on a road by myself, that I don't have to worry about someone wanting to hurt me and get away with it just because I'm different than them. And the status quo would support someone else. Do you see? Our battles are not just our own. People are abusing their powers in every level, every branch of our government. Our minds are like fruit. We're plentiful, different. But there's a sweetness, a legitimacy to each one of us being who we are. We're amazing. Let's stand by each other. We're not going to always agree on how to do it all. But if we stand together abundantly, chipping away at that wall of racism and injustice, we all get to enjoy the fruits of our labor. Let's stand together. Our minds are like fruit. This has been your girl, Valerie. Prins the Super Vixen. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, Priestess Super Vixen. Beautiful.
You're welcome.
Powerful words. A lot of people need to hear that right now. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Um, please come back again next week. It's always good to see you. Hope you have a great night and enjoy that pear.
Indeed, brother, indeed.
Yeah. All right. One more time for Priestess Super Vixen, y'all. Give it up. All right, you're tuned in to Poetry Open Mic Asheville Virtual Lovesream Quarantine Open Mic. Joining you here from my living room. My name's Caleb Beisert here in Asheville each and every Wednesday night. We get together and share our art, whatever form it takes. So Poetry Open Mic, but we do welcome all forms of artistic self-expression. Who am I to categorize? It's all poetry here. And we appreciate y'all tuning in. We appreciate y'all sharing your art. And I think we got at least one or two more performers for you tonight, so stick around. Thanks again to our featured poet tonight, Prins, whose show Abomination will be live from the Magnetic Theater here in Asheville this Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Be sure and check that out. It is an awesome show, and I think we have a link to it somewhere. But anyway, thanks for tuning in tonight. Yeah, y'all stay tuned here for more. All right. I think we got Ease Dog ready to go here. There we go. There's the link to Abomination. Definitely check it out. It's an awesome show. Thanks again to Prins. Thanks to everyone who shared tonight. And I'll close it out with some poems at the end. But first, I think we got Ease Doggy Dog in the house with us tonight. And we're definitely stoked for that. Let's see. Let's get him on here. Y'all jump up and down, make a whole bunch of noise for Ease Dog.
What up?
Ease, what's up? How's it going?
Nothing much, just chilling, just maintaining.
Awesome. Hey, man, it was good to see you downtown the other day. I know I saw you downtown. What was that?
Yeah, I know, right?
Saturday or something. Yeah, that was crazy. And,
Tell me about it. Like, I never seen anything in my life.
Yeah. It's crazy out there, man. I will never understand why some people are so dead set on hating other people for their skin color, you know. It just blows my mind, but yup, that's what we're dealing with. But hey, I'm glad you're I saw you've been get out and performing a little bit. I saw you at the block for the Juneteenth party the other day performing out there on the street.
Though.
Yeah,
like,
that was awesome.
I feel like, it's a special message there. It needs to be told, this stuff, though. And I'm just happy after a month of just being stuck. I finally found like an outlet to actually perform, because I never felt so loved and never felt so good to actually come out and stuff, though, in my life.
I hear you. Yeah,
and I'm
definitely.
hoping we get through this pandemic so we can actually get back to normal, though.
Yup. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, we got to get through this pandemic, because I definitely miss performing with you and hearing your performances at the Kava Bar and other places.
Yeah, I know.
It'll be good. We can all get together again safely.
Yeah, hopefully once they go through this phase 3, hopefully they'll start looking to like open it up back again, and also planning like a open mic 10-year anniversary special.
Yeah, absolutely. I really want to be able to do that. Yeah. So I hope people pay attention to the safety measures and everything, so that this doesn't keep getting worse, and we're able to get to that phase 3 and start doing our thing again, man. But I know definitely when we get back together, we'll have a big old open mic party for sure, and we'll have some East Dog shows too.
Oh yeah, so. Tell me about it.
Word. Well, I know you got some music for us tonight. I'm going to turn it over to you. Let you do your thing, all right?
You know it.
All right, then. Y'all make a whole bunch of noise for Ease Dog. Give it up.
Ow! You know what time it is. It's your boy Ease Dog, and we're live at my crib, of course, you know, for the virtual poetry open mic, of course. And I'm just happy to perform for y'all once again. And if you actually have seen me in the Juneteenth event, I actually got to perform at the Juneteenth event at the block, where they actually had like some wonderful free food. They had like some wonderful poetry and songs and everything. And it was a whole lot of fun. And I actually was glad that I actually got to represent and stuff though, like that day, because I know Juneteenth is the big deal for most of everybody, especially blacks and stuff though, you know, like a situation about Juneteenth, you know, about like finally get our independence after being shamed for over years and years. I'm just glad I was able to be a part of it. And hopefully this will be like my own first performance that I actually did since I got quarantined. We got quarantines. Hopefully we get through this pandemic and we'll be all right to open up everything else. And then I'll be planning my Ease Dog straight out of quarantine phase 3 ASHEViLLE tour pretty soon. And I hope y'all looking forward to it. So I ain't gonna hold y'all over. I'm going ahead and kick off a song that actually have a message that is really important and relevant that about this. I mean, we all struggling to be accepted, especially black people. I mean, it's just been crazy since the death of George Floyd and everybody that actually have fallen a casualty to police brutality. And hopefully our words will be heard, our voices will be heard, and we'll come together and we'll get through this. So I'm gonna go ahead and kick off the first song of the night, which is called Acceptance. And it's a song that actually did a long time ago, and everybody familiar with that. Oh wow. You know what? Somebody actually called me and stuff though, a DJ who actually, by the way, DJ'd over at my party though. You remember the Astro's Finest video premiere party? Yeah, I actually found out that he's trying to call me right now. I'm sorry. Yeah, hopefully he's calling me to let me know to perform at a future date, which I hope so, because I'm trying to get some shows. But here is Acceptance, produced by me. ASHEVILLE Finest. Ease Dog on the track. This is my true story. And for those who struggle to be accepted by society, let's go. I just want acceptance. Is it too much to ask for? Just want acceptance. I just want acceptance. Only thing I want in life is acceptance. I just want acceptance. I just want acceptance. I just want acceptance. Only thing I want in life is acceptance. Was a young boy, wants to be accepted, but instead constantly keep on getting rejected. Respected others, but I still get disrespected by my own damn peers, just helpless. Think about further when, what have I done? All I ask is a fair chance, just this one. Can I get a true relationship with a wife? Or a fair shot, letting me a decent job? It's wishful thinking. Welcome to my world. Really have opportunities with a girl. Just as I think a certain way, behave a certain way. This type of shit happens every day. I be asking to myself, Lord, why me? why I be hating me in my body. Learn to love myself. That's who I am. If you don't like me, I don't give a damn. I just want acceptance. Is it too much to ask for? Just want acceptance. I just want acceptance. Only thing I want in life is acceptance. I just want acceptance. I just want acceptance. I just want acceptance. Only thing I want in life is acceptance. Life is just not fair. Story of my life. Feeling like I'm getting backstabbed with a knife. I feel so damn alone in my own bubble. I'm just a young fella, wants to be cuddled. Never care unconditionally. That is what the word acceptance means to me. I be trying hard just to fit in. It be hard sometimes, feeling like quitting. I may be super different, but we're the same being. Explosion, injustice, that's all I have been seeing in my own life. Something needs to give for the next person living the life I live. You are not alone, and so it should be you. I'm not a preacher, but I speak the real truth. Don't kill me off, just give me a chance. I don't be asking much because of acceptance. I just want acceptance. Is it too much to ask for? Just want acceptance. I just want acceptance. Only thing I want in life is acceptance. I just want acceptance. I just want acceptance. I just want acceptance. Only thing I want in life is acceptance. We're all gonna struggle to be accepted sometime. Based on religion, sexual orientation, disability, and etc. It's an unjust world. But you know what? Don't feel down or discouraged. Because you are not alone. I just want acceptance. Is it too much to ask for? Just want acceptance. I just want acceptance. Only thing I want in life is acceptance. I just want acceptance. I just want acceptance. I just want acceptance. Only thing I want in life is acceptance. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. And rest in peace to George Floyd. Rest in peace to Breonna Taylor. And rest in peace to everyone that actually died in the hands of the police. We got to go ahead and make sure that our voices is heard with the peaceful protests. And also, most importantly, don't forget to go out and vote in November. So if you haven't done so, register to vote. If you are registered to vote, make sure that you know exactly where to vote and make every vote count. And that's all that matters at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the last song of the night. And before I do, I want to show y'all the EP right quick. You know I have to do it. This is my wonderful Actress Finest EP right here. Actress Finest, the EP. Produced by me, lyrics, beats, production, even this back and front cover. I usually let it go for 5, and they love the Actress Finest though. Yeah, I can't wait till we reopen again so I can actually have them on deck, as well as these hats. I will have them on deck too. And I know some of y'all Severin Kava fans and employees already done got y'all one too. And Caleb, I know you have one too. So I'm gonna go ahead and kick off the next song. By the way, if you haven't done so, check out my Actress Finest music video, which is on my YouTube right now. Let's go ahead and get the 1,000 views by the end of this year. Actress Finest, eased off. Just type in the link. I'm just type in the search on YouTube and it'll pop up. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to the last song, which is a song that's actually talking about the love for my city, and he actually spelled it out like that. I'll show y'all. It's called ASHEViLLE V1.2. Once again, produced by me. Let's go. Yeah. Represent. Hey. Eased out on the track.
Y'all remember a long time ago, I made this song on Reverb Nation called ASHEViLLE. Spelled out
ASHEVILLE.
but now
This is ASHEViLLE. Big 1.2. Started out from the bottom, now I'm here. Look at me now, holding it down, stripping the 8, not the 8 down. I laid it down for my city as you bound. 8 to 8 every day. When I at work on my grind, doing my thing on the stage, jumping the grip, they call it the hill. From the hood, I weapon the field. Open the mouth and some to high. Some won't go very chill. Speaking of old school, like a take the Genesis, preparing this. I'm with the same for rap and back, they running on cities. Yeah. Hey, this is for my city, I'm a rep. S is for my shoes, I'm a step it. H, here is the shit that I just made. E, dog and dog is the name, still don't play. V is the bill, I is the deal. M, live for the A, die for the A field. M, living like a king without a crown. Ease up in here, lay it down for my own town. Switch it up, hottest under hot, can't put me out. Ease dog and dog is my URL SoundCloud. Watch me on the YouTube, subscribe to me. If you got the Instagram, go ahead and follow Ease. Yo, go and spread the word. Ease is coming through, coming soon to an area and been there to you. Now, get on the internet and check me out. Hey, extra in the city, I'ma spell it out. Hey, this is for my city, I'm a rap it. S is for my shoes, I'm a step it. H, here is the shit that I just made. E, dog and dog is the name, still don't play. V is the bill, I is the deal. L, live for the A, die for the A field. L, living like a king without a crown. Ease up in here, looking down for my old town. I become a beast when I have the mic. Try if you like, still my thunder, better my strike. Walk on my shine over my dead body, this my life. Very polite, treating this rap shit like your wife. Ain't taking no drugs, always winning, that's why I do it. Giving my fans what they love with my wonderful music. Got your speakers switched up and call it man rock. Not in New Year's Eve, may not let that ball drop. I Ease dog and dog been doing this since back in the days when they had to spit. You get a major deal, go overnight. Me, Lisa sunglasses, put my face right. ASHEVILLE. Always been, always will represent my city. ASHEVILLE. If you love this joint, go ahead and put it on repeat. Hey, this is for my city, I'm a rep it. S is for my shoes, I'm a step it. H, here is the shit that I just made. Ease dog and dog is the name, still don't play. V is the bill, I is the deal. M, live for the A, die for the A field. M, living like a king without a crown. Ease up in here, lay it down for my old town. Easy dog on the track. At your finest. ASHEViLLE. Oh yeah, that's that ASHEViLLE V1.2 for y'all, produced by me. And I'm actually once again happy to do my thing for y'all once again for the wonderful Silver and Carver audience. Don't forget, go view my video Asher's Finest right now on my YouTube. Just type in Ease Dog Asher's Finest and it will pull up. And also, if you haven't done so, check out my other hot songs, including my newest song called Future Sake, which is a song about the pandemic virus, and we have to take it seriously. Listen to Future Sake on SoundCloud, Ease Dog. Just type in Ease Dog. And go follow me if you haven't done so. Instagram, Ease Doggy Dog. Once again, follow me, Ease Doggy Dog. And once everything gets back to normal, close to normal, I will be having like show dates and appearances either on my Verb Nation or in my Ease Dog Facebook page. And when in doubt, y'all go ahead and Google Ease Dog. Let me go ahead and give this radio do the call. Y'all be easy and be safe.
All right. Y'all give it up one more time for Ease Dog. And yeah, be sure and check out Ease Dog. He's got that album out and he's got some merch available. So check it out, Ease Dog. Thank you, Ease. And thank you to all our performers who tuned in tonight and each and every Wednesday night here on Poetry Open Mic ASHEViLLE, the virtual Lovesream. Thank you for being with us this evening. I think we got one more performer. Is Blackburn here? No, and Blackburn. Well, if he pops in here in the next little bit, we'll get Justin Blackburn on here. But I'm gonna go ahead and do some poems to leave y'all with. But I do also want to thank again our featured poet tonight, Christian Prins. And he's got a show coming up called Abomination that's gonna be live streamed. It's just pay what you can, and all the proceeds he's donating to health support for protesters in the Black Lives Matter movement who have been affected by the coronavirus, COVID-19. So it's definitely a worthy cause and a show that's worth your time, and it's really powerful. It has moments that are absolutely hilarious and moments that'll just bring you to tears. It's a beautiful work of art. Y'all should go see it, and keep tuning in here each and every week. There's the link for that show. And I'm gonna lay a few poems on you. Also, by the way, our theme music tonight is by my band, the Cavalactones. You can find us on Facebook, and hopefully playing somewhere in the future. All right. This first one's called Invisible World. I wring out laundry in the rank world. Blackbirds fly in and out of an open window. For centuries, distress was my dwelling place. I look skyward and dream, head resting in an open window. Tall buildings and street poles block my view, so I throw all my possessions out of an open window. Kings and their lawyers lie down in palace corridors. A falcon with a note appears at the open window. Rulers cannot be trusted. Nothing has changed. A bandit steals my soul and makes through an open window. Beside the oak bookshelf, there's a wine bottle filled with peacock feathers. The invisible world lies just beyond the open window. The same but different. We hardly ever spoke to each other. We talked through music to one another all together. Now every Tuesday night we saved the made-up endings. I hid in the back after I fucked up the groove. Nobody said anything to me, but I know. We don't tell each other when it sounds good either. Music is the beauty we do. It never was a choice, since we picked up our instruments years ago in another life. We don't really remember. I already don't remember what we played. One day, we won't remember ourselves, but the sound will still be there, like a long-forgotten song suddenly on the tongue after all these years. Sliced. I eat a grapefruit for breakfast. I had to jump several times to pluck it from its branch, overlooking a desert that flowers once a year when it rains. Someone said today was Wednesday. I got drunk the night before and was in torpor when they tried to wake me. I was dreaming of a tree full of cormorants along a misty river leading back through time, a message to a poet on the shores. Did you get your shift covered? Are you working today? Beta carotene. The tour rats took over the bar with plenty of ketamine and LSD. It was a hot night. They said they'd be back when it wasn't so hot. They had some art for us. We never got naked enough. Can you ever be naked enough? Need the dough for tomorrow's bread. We've seen our own waterfalls in the same forest. The lights played tricks on us. We abide in the night of our fears, falling gracefully from a high branch. The sound guy said it sounded good, at least. We found our way to our cars by matchlight. We all glistened and went home on our own, the wood stove still tapping the time, still singing. Thank God I found my wallet under the branches in the meaningless shade of night. Hollow drums, warm amps, the sound of passing cars, and random sirens reminding us all is never perfect. We hide in bars until sunrise or they kick us out. Bring your dog. It might be a long night. On not knowing what you expect. Wallace Stevens, your greenest night accompanied me as I opened the collection by a single candle fluttering to the random page of a single candle fluttering. Where does the topaz rabbit hide? Beyond the learned astronomers we admired. An exalted poet once wrote 100 years ago on a porch like this. Caleb, you'll never see the reason. It will not arrive on the wind. Last of the porch times. I think this is the current draft. Well, it's one I've been working on. I tend to write a lot on the porch. It's a good place for me. I move on to other porches knowing this one was good to us. Of all the times, porch time was about relaxing and unwinding in solitude after a stretched day of work, or together, sharing the sound of our thoughts or arroyos of laughter. There was one time my roommate sat on the chair wasps had built a nest under. Their sudden swarm stung her dozens of times before she realized what it was. But the porch was good to us, though it never noticed us. Its weathered planks buckle in waves that creak underfoot. Railings leave crenellations on faces. We swayed in the porch swing, drawing closer to each other on cold nights when the mountain wind crawled the icy street and the dark trees groaned heavy. That's where I saw the wildcat that came to inhabit my dreams. I think she was trying to tell me something, but my language fails to reach across. I'll have to discover new language. I'll have to listen to the animals who have been speaking since before words. I'll have to listen from inside. How to translate a tongue I didn't realize is there without a stone to guide. We have been hearing the language all along. We can understand what is beyond meaning. I think I know what the cat was saying. All right. What else do we have here? One more original and a couple of cover poems to close it out. It's the new one. Nothing geese. The clock says it's 3:75 a.m. I've been sprayed with chemicals. They make my chest burn and my sweat sting for days. This is a poem I translated from the Spanish of Federico Garcia Lorca. This is Hustle of Dark Death. I want to sleep the sleep of apples, allaying myself from the tumults of cemeteries. I want to sleep the sleep of that child who wanted to cut out his heart on the high seas. I don't want to hear again that the dead don't lose their blood, that the rotted mouth keeps asking for water. I don't want to find out about the martyrdoms of the grass or about the snake-mouthed moon that works before the dawn. I want to sleep for a while, a minute, a century. But everyone must know that I am not dead, that there's a stable of gold in my lips, that I am the west wind's little friend, that I am the immense shadow of my tears. Cover me at dawn with a veil, for the dawn will throw fistfuls of ants and drench my shoes with solid water so they slide on the pincers of scorpions. Because I want to sleep the sleep of apples, to learn a lament that will cleanse me of earth. Because I want to live with that dark child who wanted to cut out his heart on the high seas. The great Federico Garcia Lorca. This is a poem by the surrealist beat poet Bob Kaufman. This is Walking Parker Home. Sweet beats of jazz impaled on slivers of wind, Kansas, black morning, first horn eyes, historical sound, pictures on new bird wings, people shouts, boy alto dreams, tomorrow's gold-belled pipe of stops and future blues times lurking, Hawkins, shadows of Leicester, realization, bronze fingers, brain extensions seeking trapped sounds, ghetto thoughts, bandstand, courage, solo fight, nerve-racked suspicions of newer songs and doubts, New York altar city, black tears, secret disciples, hammer horn pounding soul marks on unswinging gates, culture gods, mob sounds, visions of spikes, panic excursions to tribal jazz wombs and transfusions, heroin nights of birth and soaring over boppy new ground, smothered rage covering pyramids of notes, spontaneously exploding cool revelations, shrill hopes, beauty spread into greedy ears, birdland nights on bop mountains, windy saxophone revolutions, day rooms of junk and melting walls and circling vultures, money cancer, remembered pain, terror flights, death, and indestructible existence. In that jazz corner of life, wrapped in a mist of sound, his legacy, our jazz-tinted dawn, wailing his triumphs of oddly begotten dreams, inviting the nerveless to feel once more that fierce dying of humans consumed in raging fires of love. Bob Kaufman. All right, thank you all for joining us for Poetry Open Mic Asheville, the virtual quarantine Lovesream open mic. We're keeping this going each and every Wednesday night here in Asheville, and we really appreciate everyone tuning in tonight. It's been another amazing night of performances, and I'm always humbled and honored to be your host. Let's see. I think I got one more poem. I'm gonna leave you with a little roomie, and I hope y'all have an awesome night. And please keep tuning in, keep supporting the open mic, keep supporting Sovereign Kava, who's been our home for so long and is still sponsoring this open mic. Go over there and get some kava. They are doing takeout orders. Masks are required, and they also do delivery through Kickback Asheville. So check that out. Really appreciate everyone's likes, comments, and shares. Oh, what's up, John Mark? Hell yeah. It's good to see everyone out there. Y'all tuning in. Please jump on here and share. We do sign up in the Poetry Open Mic Asheville group on Facebook, and we're live here each and every Wednesday night on YouTube, Sovereign Kava page, and on Facebook also. So keep tuning in. I really appreciate it. Hope to see all y'all again in person. And yeah, I'll leave y'all with this roomie. On gambling. If you want what visible reality can give, you're an employee. If you want the unseen world, you're not living your truth. Both wishes are foolish, but you'll be forgiven for forgetting that what you really want is love's confusing joy. Gamble everything for love. If you're a true human being. If not, leave this gathering. Half-heartedness doesn't reach into your majesty. You set out to find God, but then you keep stopping for long periods at mean-spirited roadhouses. In a boat, down a fast-running creek, it feels like trees on the bank are rushing by. What seems to be changing around us is rather the speed of our craft leaving this world. Let the beauty we love be what we do. Take this feeling we've created here tonight and do something good with it. Y'all take care of yourselves and one another. Many thanks again to our featured poet, Christian Prins, tonight. Y'all please check out his show, Abomination, live from the Magnetic Theater this Saturday night at 7:30. And we'll see you again here next week for more Poetry Open Mic Asheville. Thanks a lot, y'all.
Expressly dull times, my darling, your friends liked me more than you, I suspect. Loyalty is sometimes taken for granted. I'm gonna sit on the floor and do some caresses to the rug, get my fingers vibrating. I hide a bottle of brandy in a jacket pocket. You find strangers' lips ready and warm. I promise the phrase "you should" has been 86 forever. Ice cream's on me next time.